Hello! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildcard. Thank you for watching my content. As always, it is my pleasure and the absolute privilege to talk about the greatest sport in the world, rugby. And the Rugby Championship is heading into the final round this year due to the Rugby World Cup. And this is a pretty interesting deciding round, nevertheless, because since there's only 3 games being played in the championship is, mathematically speaking, up for grabs for all the teams except for Australia. uh, oh yeah. Sorry, I just thought that was really funny. So let's have a look at the standings. So mathematically speaking, if somehow the Wallabies can beat New Zealand this weekend in a miracle, the Springboks could and the Springboks could beat Argentina with a bonus point win. The Springboks would just secure the Rugby Championship. But if New Zealand was able to walk away with a bonus point loss, the South Africans will have to rely on point differential. So you will come down to how many points they can put on Argentinians to win the game. The Argentinians, on the other hand, also mathematically speaking, has a chance to win the championship if the All Blacks lose to Wallabies without a bonus point, and Argentina somehow blows out the Springboks by a big margin. They could potentially, it's a pretty big point difference, but there's still potentially, if somehow Argentina win by, 70 points, literally over the Springboks, they can still win the championship. But the game is in the running definitely for the South Africans going into this weekend. There's history between the South Africa and Argentina heavily favors the Springboks. Argentina has only ever won 3 times against the Springboks, and that goes back to the start of the 2015. That was, almost a decade ago now, thinking about it. And the last time the Argentinians won was in 2018. This was in Argentina, and this was a time where Springboks wasn't very good. Yeah, but that is the only time, and in recent times, Springboks has been pretty comfortably, I would say. Just the style that the Springboks play kind of matches the style that Argentina likes to play, but just more physical, essentially, more experienced and more talented. So it's been very difficult for Argentina to overcome the Springboks' brute strength just because of the way the team matches up these days. Although Michael Cheika coming into the team has instilled a lot more running game out and kicking, kicking for space for the Argentinians, but that hasn't really shown any results so far for the Argentina side against the Springboks. Anyway, it has worked quite well against the All Blacks. Worked quite well against the Wallabies. It hasn't quite played out for the Springboks. Andrew Brace will be the referee for the weekend. He is an Irish referee, I believe. No, he's no, I'm pretty sure he's Irish. No, wait, yeah, Irish Rugby Football Union. Somehow born in Cardiff in Wales, but he is going to be pretty decent. Andrew Brace, pretty clinical on his calls and pretty clear. And he's I would say he's not quite as trigger happy with yellow cards as it will be with some of the other referees. Maybe like he wouldn't be probably not as bad as Marius, not Marius Jonker, what's his name, Jaco Pipe, not as quickly as Jaco Piper to issue like yellow cards, but yeah, he's definitely on the strict end. If you were to say the Australian referees, the Barnesy is on the more loose end. He's more on the stricter end, so he's kind of like on that spectrum. The weather on Johannesburg is going to be quite decent, 22 degrees on a Saturday afternoon, and as good as you can get for a game of rugby. And yes, let's have a look at the lineup for the 2 teams. So the Argentinians just announced the team a few hours ago, and Michael Cheika made 5 changes to the team, lots of changes on the bench, and he did talk about how he wants to give players a mental break, which I felt like a little bit strange with that comment, because I think he wasn't alluding to this game in particular, but he only had 2 games in the Rugby Championship this year, and you've already had a week off last week. Wasn't really sure what he's referring to about giving mental breaks to the players, especially knowing that the Argentinians had come together kind of late as a group going, like, they only had like 1 week essentially as a full group going to Rugby Championship, so really didn't have much time to work together. So yeah, interesting to see Michael Cheika happy to shuffle up the teams going to against the Springboks. And we shall see how this is whether this is gonna pay off for that elusive first win for Argentina or not. The core players of the Argentinian side is still in the lineup, and it looks like Michael Cheika is trying to potentially shuffle around some of the more elusive roles for some of the positions to see how they fit with his set of core set of players that he kind of settled on for the Rugby World Cup. Yeah, so let's have a look at some of the setup that the two teams has come up with. So the South Africans have opted to make a slight change in the front rowers. Malcolm Marx comes off the bench to take Bungi Mbonabi at the hooker position, but the loose head position, Stephen Kitsoff stays at number 1 jersey. Frans Malherbe had such a good game against the All Blacks in the scrummaging, really giving it to Ethan de Groot quite a bit. And there was a couple 50-50 calls. I felt like he definitely had an upper hand. And if it wasn't for the 50-50 calls from the referee, I did feel like the referee probably let off the All Blacks a little bit, especially in the first half with the scrummaging. But Frans Malherbe, in my books, was really dominant in that performance. And for Argentinians, Thomas Gajo, apparently that's how you pronounce his name. Thomas Gajo comes in at the loose head position. This is going to be a really challenging week for him against Malherbe. And it's just the size difference, and obviously Gajo is more of a ball runner. He's really, really dangerous and strong as a ball carrier and fast. But his scrummaging is probably like on the weaker side of all his core sets. So this is going to be really, really difficult for him. A really big challenge ahead of him against Frans Malherbe. Julian Montoya, one of the best players at the breakdown for the Argentinians, will be looking for that for the breakdown contest against the Springboks. And this is probably why they brought up Malcolm Marx off the bench, because Malcolm Marx is probably the best breakdown specialist in the Springboks team as well. So 2 hookers, 2 breakdown specialists. We'll have to keep a tally on who gets the most turnovers this game. Francisco Gomez Cordella has become the kind of like the go-to tight end prop for Michael Cheika in that number 3 jersey for Argentina. He comes in and retains that number 3 jersey as he has been doing. So in the locking positions, both teams had a few changes, one change each actually. Ibn Esbeth retains that number 4 jersey, and he's not going to be the captain this weekend. He did have a week off, I guess, last week, but with his father passing away 2 weeks ago. But I think he's probably going to is in a better mental state this week to play Argentina, especially back in South Africa. The Argentina has made one change to the number 4 jersey. Lucas Palos comes off the bench to the starting position, number 4, which is a big challenge for him. The Springboks, however, did make a change in number 5 jersey. Marvin Orie gets another shot at glory, at eternal glory for the Springboks at number 5 jersey. Thomas Lavanini retains number 5 jersey. Big improvements for Lavanini. I felt like in his discipline, he used to be one of the most penalized players in the world, but in the 2 rounds so far, he hasn't stood out to me as an occurring issue with his penalties and discipline. So big props for him for improving that off the field. And the loose forwards changes for the Springboks as well. Marco van Staden comes in number 6 for Huaga Smith, and Pieter-Sip du Toit retains the number 7 jersey. So Marco van Staden is the open side flanker. Pieter-Sip du Toit is a blind side flanker. Also the 3rd lining option / the 3rd lock. The South Africans likes to have extra weight behind the blindside position just for the scrummaging, and that's something that they really like to do. It's just something that they've been doing quite successfully, and a lot of countries are starting to like copy that as well in recent times. Like Eddie Jones like to do that in England a little bit. So with Courtney Lawes, and New Zealand has tried with Scotty Barrett to various success as well. But Pieter-Sip du Toit comes in number 7. The number 8 position is Dwayne the Rock Vermeulen. He's actually the captain this weekend for the Springboks at number 8. The Argentinians, Pablo Matera comes in number 6 in the blindside flanker. Santiago Codona retains number 7 jersey. He has been, I guess, Michael Cheika has been quite happy with his performance for the number 7. And Juan Martin Gonzalez as well, another youngster, retains the number 8 jersey for Argentina over a number of veterans that are sitting out this game. Not sitting out this game, and that are not favored anymore by Michael Cheika at the number 8 jersey. Like Bruno used to be favored, now kind of like falling out of favor from Michael Cheika in the number 8 jersey. In the back line now, we've got Grant Willemse comes in. Grant Willemse comes in at number 9 for the Springboks. I actually know how to pronounce it. It's Grant Willemse, apparently. I don't know. He comes off. This is his first start for the Springboks. He's been off the bench for 2 weeks in a row, and yeah, it's good to see how he comes on and work with Mani Lebok, who gets probably many people a deserving start again. This is his second start for the Springboks. He's been off the bench for 3 games, and it's quite interesting to see what kind of game that he brings. A lot of people kind of criticized Damien Willemse last 2 weeks ago against the All Blacks. Everybody felt Mani Lebok should be the number 10. There's no argument that Damien Willemse is not as good as number 10 as Mani Lebok. I don't think that Rassie Erasmus is trying to pretend that Damien Willemse is. The logic behind having Damien Willemse playing 10 with a very prominent exposure at 10 is because they want Damien Willemse to cover the entire backline for the Springboks going into Rugby World Cup, which is really, really important with the 6-2 reserve setup for the Springboks, because if Damien Willemse can cover every position in the backline, all you need is a number 9, right? And that means it reduces your risk at the 6-2 setup quite quite significantly. A lot of teams have tried this 6-2 setup without a specialist that can cover every position in the backline, such as the Wallabies did 2 weeks ago against Argentina. We ended up with players playing out of position. We end up at risk of putting A.D. Jones even had tried the 6-2 setup in England, where he had to put like forwards in the back line. It is very, very risky prospect with only two back reserves, especially when one of the backs reserve is a specialist 9. So having Damien Willemse covering the entire back line with some sort of competency, and let's be frank, he's pretty decent as a fullback, he's decent as a center, but his biggest weakness is the 10 jersey. So for the Springboks to be successful, to be absolutely having all their dots and all the boxes ticked off, is to really giving Damien Willemse more time at 10. And yes, and Damien Willemse is on the bench, and I will be suspecting that he'll be coming on at the 10 jersey at some point in the second half. Yes, he will not be coming on unless it's an injury. He will not be coming on for any other position other than 10. You can believe that. On the Argentinian side, they got Lautaro Banzaveles coming off the bench at number 9. Santiago Carreras is one of the guys that Michael Cheika has settled as a starting 10, even with the veteran, what's his name, Sanchez coming back from injuries. Carrera has been starting ahead of Sanchez in those games. So Carreras is clearly the favorite, and he's been quite good, showing a lot of flair. Michael Cheika has been teaching him a lot of the skill sets that is required to be a successful playmaker. In the number 11 jersey, the the scariest winger in the history of the Springbok rugby, Curdy Arinsa, comes back at number 11. The guy who infamously tried to murder Beauden Barrett in front of millions of people live on TV, right? On his debut, he tried to murder Beauden Barrett just to show the world, just to make sure everybody know who he is, right? He's back again at number 11. Quite scary prospect, and quite a dangerous person in the win jersey. Juan Imhoff gets recalled for Argentina. Michael Cheika has talked about how he's seen Imhoff, develop in club rugby. Imhoff is obviously a veteran now for the Springboks. So yeah, I don't know how this matchup's gonna go, Michael. Arkansas might just be able to run circle around Imhoff. We'll have to wait and see. But Imhoff was apparently involved in, I think, one of the games that they beat Springboks in the past, where Imhoff was involved. So maybe Michael Cheika wants to draw some of that luck from the park from the past to this game. Damien Dialendi comes in number 12 with Jesse Krill at outside center position. Jesse obviously has been given a bit of a time to develop his game as well, ahead of Lukamio Lukamio is on the bench, so Jesse Krill is just here to obviously to filling a bit for the 13 jersey, give him more game time. Damien Dialendi, I felt like his game has been a little bit flat. This last game against the All Blacks, although that was against the All Blacks, everybody looks a bit flat against the All Blacks. It's quite difficult to be standing. But this game, will be an opportunity for him to show that he's still got it for the Springboks. The inside center for Argentina, Santiago Chocobares, gets called into the 12 jersey. He has been playing 12 and 13 quite a bit last year. This is his first appearance this year. Again, Michael Cheika talks about, giving some people more game time, working those combinations, and this is one of them. Lucio Cinti retains the number 13 jersey for the Springboks. I mean, for Argentina here. Cheslin Kobe, the other danger man for the Springboks, out of the number 14 jersey. The high ball specialists. The another, I don't know if Cheslin Kobe and Arlensa, who is the better footwork, but I feel like Arlensa may be edging a little bit ahead of Cheslin Kobe, but both players are absolutely insane with their footwork. People like to say this thing where they say they can beat you in a phone box, right? I reckon these two guys can beat you in a foot box. I mean, in a shoe box, right? They can definitely beat you inside a shoe box. Okay, that's how good these two guys are with their footwork. Matteo Carreras gets the number 14 jersey, moving from the number 11 he did last week. Finally, in the fullback position, a bit of a change here as well. And this is one that I kind of surprised a little bit. Juan Cruz Malia gets called in for the 15 ahead of Emiliano Bofelli. So this means who's going to be the goal kicker for Argentina? Actually, is Malia going to be goal? I don't know who's going to be goal kicking. Is Carreras going to be goal kicking here? Because Bofelli is their go-to goal kicker. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm actually not sure who's going to be goal kicking. Let me know if you know who's been the goal kicker for the Argentinian side. But Malia is here at number 15. And Willie LaRue, one of the best performers in the Springboks team, consistently now for about since last year. And is again going to bring that playmaking out of the number 15 jersey as a second playmaker and really controlling that kicking game. Makes really controlling the game overall, the speed and tempo of the game overall from that 15 jersey. Willie LaRue, one of my favorites in the back line. In the reserves, we got Bungi Mbonambi comes in number 16. Trevor Nyakani gets recalled. This is his first game since last year, since mid last year. So it's almost a year since Trevor has played for the Springboks, comes in number 17 jersey. Vincent Koch comes in number 18. Trevor can play both tight head and loose head, so should there have been an injury, for some reason he can cover both positions as well. Vincent Koch, a tight head pop at number 18 jersey. The Argentinians had a bit of a change here as well. Number 16, Ignacio Lopez. Just kidding, it's not Lopez, it's Ignacio Ruiz. Comes in number 16. Lopez is retired, unfortunately. He comes in number 16 jersey for the Argentinians. Nahul Tazacapado returns the number 17 jersey for Argentina. And Joe Scalvi returns to the fold, number 18 jersey, with a bit more size in the tight head jersey, the tight head position, coming off the bench as well. The loose forwards reserves, Huaga Smith will bring in that speed on the flanker position for the Springboks. Pedro Rubillo drops to the bench on the number 19 jersey. And the RG Snyman has been quite big impact for the Springboks, coming off the bench, lifting the speed, lifting the intensity, and really hammering that physicality into the opposition forward pack quite a bit, as he's shown against the All Blacks, and really started the whole comeback against the All Blacks 2 weeks ago. Will be coming off the bench once again on the number 20 jersey. Facundo Iza has been added into the team for the Argentinians, number 20 jersey. Faf de Klerk gets dropped to the bench, number 21. Gonzalo Bertrano gets dropped to the bench, number 21 for Argentina. Number 22, Lukamio will be going in for Jesse Krill at some point in the second half. And then Thomas Albernos will be at 22 for Argentina. And number 23, the greatest Springboks in the history of the Springboks, Damien Willemse, will be, like I said, he will be filling in at number 10 jersey. The Springboks is playing three backs reserves with Lukamu specializing in the center position, which means Damien Willemse will not be playing center. We know that he plays center in his club rugby, but he will not be playing center, guys. He will not be playing fullback. He will be going at number 10. Yes, it's part of the preparation that Rassie Rasmus needs for Damien Willemse to cover the entire backline, like we talked about. It is the grand strategy of the Springboks to be able to impose that dominant forwards with an extra forwards on the bench to come off the bench at the second for the second half to really overpower the opposition. And that is the game plan that the Springboks will be pursuing going to the World Cup. And Damien Willemse is absolutely crucial to be able to fulfill all the roles at a very, very high level in the World Cup. And here's also another thing I want to talk about Damien Willemse. When Damien Willemse is playing number 10, right, the coaching staff is not expecting him to play like he's Dan Carter. They know that he's not Dan Carter. They're not expecting him to play like he's, like he's Manny Lebok. Okay, they're not expecting to play any sort of fancy footwork, attacking, crazy goal, crazy kicking style, Bowden Barrett style rugby. They know that's not him, and that is not the goal of Damien Willemse at the 10 jersey. The goal of Damien Willemse jersey playing the 10 position is to play like he's Andre Pollard. Maybe Butch James, okay? A very steady style, controlling the field position with the kicking game, and then just slow and steady rolling the forwards through and just try to get the penalties and try to get the opportunities to kick for 3 points, try to control the possession, try to control the set piece. That's his start. That's what they want him to do. So it's not, so if you go out, if you think that Damien Willemse is not as good as Manny Lebok because he's, because Manny Lebok is much better playmaker, that is true. That is 100% true. But for the purpose of the Rugby World Cup, for the purpose of being able to fill in as a reserve, as a backup, they just need him to be playing. They just need him to imitate the style that Springboks has found a lot of success in the past. Butch James going into Andre Pollard, maybe even Mornay Stein. That's the kind of style that Damien Willemse is trying to imitate for the Springboks. So just want to clarify that. People has been saying that Damien giving a lot of negativity to Willemse, and I feel like the role that he's in is misunderstood by the public, and hopefully that clarifies a bit for everybody, and not to get too angry at his selections. Finally, for the Argentinians, 23 Matias Moroni retains that jersey for Michael Checker's Puma. So that is the lineup for the two teams. I do feel like Michael Checker has taken out some of the key roles for the team, especially without a very high percentage goal kicker. As far as my understanding goes, the Boffelli not in the team. I do think that the Springboks will comfortably win this one once again. Unfortunately, I think that Springboks will win this one by probably 17 points. Yeah. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Your predictions. So 17 points. So let's say I think maybe like 32 points to 15 for the Springboks. And yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know your predictions. And I'll see you guys this weekend for the reviews. Thank you for watching. Cheers.